The intentions for this live is to talk about spiritual journey struggles, y'all. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Some things you've been struggling with, some things that you may need some help or some guidance on. What are some spiritual journey struggles that you have had, okay? Because this spiritual journey ain't no game. All right, this spiritual journey is not for the weak. Shout out to David Arnold. Okay, peace, peace, peace to the God energy that is David Arnold. He was the comedian who transitioned right after Queen Elizabeth transitioned, and he used to record a lot of videos with his family, and he used to say, get you one of these things called the family. It ain't for the weak, So every time I say it ain't for the weak, I think about David Arnold. Much love and peace to his daughters, his wife, Julie, and peace, peace, peace to his energy. When we have people who transition, sometimes the transition from physical realm to spirit realm to ancestor realm is not an easy thing for some people to grapple with, especially when it's been I'm a medium, y'all. So this is medium talk, okay? It's not always easy for them to transition into ancestor realm. Sometimes they too struggle and they too resist that transition because they can't unpack why they had to go so soon. So, we still, especially when the passing has been very recent, we just send a lot of peace and healing energy to that transition. Okay, we send a lot of peace to that transition. All right, so what are some things you have been struggling with on your spiritual journey? Mayat said, letting go and surrendering. Letting go and surrendering. Releasing control. Releasing control is real. If you was on my live earlier, I was on live on Instagram. And so y'all, sometimes I go live here. Sometimes I'm live on IG. Sometimes I'm live on YouTube. On my Instagram live, I was talking about lucid dreaming and astral projection. So if you missed that one, please, you'll be able to watch the replay on my YouTube, okay? So the replay from earlier will be on my YouTube tomorrow at 8 a.m. The video is already uploaded. It'll release tomorrow at 8 a.m. on astral projection and lucid dreaming. In that live, I talked about the importance of learning to release control. And letting go and releasing control is not easy. I'm going to tell you something about the spiritual journey that may be able to help you with letting go and releasing control. Oftentimes when we talk about manifestation is received as the power to control. And we got to be careful with that, y'all. We got to be careful with that. A lot of times when we talk about manifestation, we start using the idea of I'm manifesting as a mechanism of control, to be able to control our life, to be able to control other people. Manifestation is not about control. It's about releasing control. And the thing about it is, once you learn how to release control, that is how you get control. Okay? I know it sounds weird, but once you learn how to release control, that is the exact moment when you gain control. Oftentimes, we're trying to control the physical. We're trying to control how things show up, how things look, what all is happening in the physical. Once you release this idea of controlling the physical realm and things that's happening around you and how things are showing up, you will then gain control of the spiritual. So learn to release control of the physical and tap into your spiritual. How you can do that, right, is when you start getting that little trigger. Here go Diddy. Diddy got to get his little feature all in the video. All in the video. He got to get his little feature in, huh? Okay. But, when we think about the physical realm, when we think about the idea of releasing control in the physical and gaining control in the spiritual, we have to be mindful that, sometimes we're triggered. And often we're triggered when things start to go wrong, right? Or when you feel like a manifestation is taking too long, you get triggered. But that's when I need you to tap into your spiritual. Tap into your spiritual. So if there's ever a moment that you feel like, I need some control. I want some control. I need to get a handle on this. Why is this taking so long? Why is this not happening? Tap into your spiritual. And how we tap into our spiritual, a quick way is to hit them I am mantras. I am well. I am peace. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate that. I am peace. I am light. I am abundant. I am well. So tap into your I am mantras. Tap into your gratitude list. Start looking around because, again, sometimes our need to control is triggered by feeling like what we don't have and what's not coming fast enough and what's not showing up. So that's when you tap into your gratitude list. Start taking inventory. I call this an inventory. What's going right? What's going well? What do you have? Just start looking around you and making a list of everything you have. Everything that's going well, everything that's going right, everything you once wanted and it has showed up, everything you once prayed for and it came, everything that was on that old manifestation list that you ain't looked at in a long time, but when you go back and look at it, that old manifestation list has now turned into a gratitude list because it has all come about. Okay, so that's how you start to release control of the physical. Sometimes we just got to tap into our spiritual and remember who we are, remember what we have internally, remember our power and what has manifested externally, and know that it is all coming together in time. We have to just trust divine timing. Trust divine timing. Miss Favor says, sitting with myself when I feel like running to another person. Her spiritual struggles. Sitting with herself when she feels like running to another person. That's a good one. That's a good one. You know, first off, I just want to say, I'm trying to go back in the comments because I don't want to lose anybody. So I don't want to skip over anybody. So I'm trying to make sure that I stay where I was. But that's a good one. And the reason that that's a good one is because, first off, I want to tell you that it's not a negative thing to want community, y'all. It's not a negative thing to crave community. Okay? That makes you human. Craving community, craving company, craving to be social is not a negative thing. You are a human being. And especially if you Black. Black folks, we are village folks. We used to having community. We are used to being in village. We are used to being tribed up. So it's nothing wrong with that. And especially when you are in a space of need, when you feel like you need some support, you need some love, when you feel unfulfilled, usually our first response is, in order to fulfill that, we need company. And it's okay to feel that way. All right. I know when we're talking about the spiritual journey, oftentimes we talk about the value of being in solitude, the value of being alone. But I'm just going to tell you this. Yes, it's good to be alone sometimes. Yes, it's good to be in solitude sometimes. But you know what's also good? What's also good is having a good tribe. What's also good is having good support, having a good community. What's also good is having a good partner, a good lover. It's also good. Sometimes that balance them chakras. Hello. Okay. Sometimes them chakras, you just need that backbeat in there. That sacral chakra gonna line right up. Sometimes that's all it needs. Okay. So as I was saying, it's not wrong for you to crave community. It's not wrong for you to crave the village. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, well, you just got to get used to being by yourself. You need to just get used to sitting alone. I'm going to say, in those moments where you have tried, because I'm sure you know that. I'm sure you know that there's power in solitude. But in those moments where you have tried solitude, you tried everything you can, but your thoughts are just becoming overwhelming, everything is just becoming too much, reach out to somebody. Reach out to somebody. Don't force yourself into loneliness, okay? Don't force yourself into the heartbreak of trying to unpack all your mental, things that's happening in spiritual overwhelm. You're spiritually overwhelmed. Don't force yourself to unpack that all the time. Sometimes you need a sister circle. Sometimes you need a brother circle. Sometimes you need a tribe, and you need to be able to pick up that phone and call somebody. If you got an elder, Do that. Do that. And as you progress in your spiritual journey, you will get more comfortable in being alone. Something I think we do is we try to move too fast. You know, you see the ideal spiritual self, the ideal spiritual person, you know, and you try to become that too quickly. Yet for me personally, I have solo traveled. I can sit by myself and be by myself for a long period of time, but I had to work my way there. Thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. I had to work my way there. I had to work my way to that. You know, I grew up with siblings. I grew up with family. Thank you for the gifts. I grew up with family. I grew up with tribe. I grew up with community. I had to work my way to that. So don't look at me now and think, oh, I want to solo travel. Y'all, I had to work my way to solo travel. Working my way to solo travel, this is some progress. If you are a person who you want to work your way into being comfortable sitting alone, y'all, yeah, I have anxiety. Okay, diagnosed. I have anxiety. Y'all, I'm talking about anxiety attacks in public. Okay, I went through some things to get there now. I didn't just step into feeling comfortable being by myself. I went through anxiety attacks in public, being embarrassed. I'm talking about to the point of passing out. I'm sweating down, okay? Looking crazy, in public by myself. But it was because I went out to eat for the first time by myself. And I started there. I started with going out to eat by myself. I would get a little table by myself somewhere off in the corner, okay? Because again, I had to progress. So I would go get a little table off somewhere in the corner where people didn't notice me like that. I would put my headphones in and I would have a journal or something with me or a book with me, and I would read or I would write or do something, you know, but that's how I just started there and worked my way up. Then I started like having full shopping days, you know, with a little lunch in there, you know, started like, okay, well, I done had dinner by myself or had lunch by myself. Let me go hit a few stores by myself. Let me go do this by myself. Then that progressed to me spending full days because again, I grew up with siblings. Okay, I grew up with tribe. I grew up with community. I had to learn how to get comfortable. And on top of that, I'm the baby sister. So my brother, I wasn't allowed to go nowhere by myself. I wasn't allowed to be walking by myself. You know, I was always well kept and well accompanied and protected. So I had to get comfortable with the idea of being alone and feeling vulnerable alone. So I just worked my way up. So you may need to start there. If your spiritual struggle is sitting by yourself, start with small little lunch dates. Then progress to small lunch dates with a little open shopping date, walking around by yourself. Then let that progress to, you know, you come home and you still spend some time and you still by yourself. You don't immediately pick up the phone and you don't do none of that, you know, and then you could progress to traveling by yourself, going out of town by yourself. You know, it takes time. It takes time, but don't ever feel ashamed of desiring community. Okay. Danny D said, moving forward and being obedient, even when it's new and sometimes intimidating. We talking about spiritual journey struggles. Moving forward and being obedient, even when it's new and sometimes intimidating. Let me tell you something, Danny. That's where your biggest blessings come from. Let me tell y'all, when it feels new, when it feels scary, when it feels risky, it's a big blessing on the other side of that. I promise you that. Guarantee it. When it feels new, when it feels scary, when it feels risky, it's a big blessing on the other side of that. And it takes a lot to do it. That's never going to go away. I was watching a podcast earlier and somebody was talking about their biggest business risk. And he was saying that his biggest business risk, he had to basically put his whole bank account on it, you know. But his biggest business risk has been his most lucrative risk. So that's something that moving forward and being obedient, even when it's new and sometimes intimidating, I'm telling you, that's never going to go away. That's in spiritual, that's in business, that's in love. Come on now. Being in love and you taking that risk with somebody new, it could be intimidating because you don't know what's going to come of it. You don't know what folks are going to think. You don't know if this person is who they really say they are. You don't know if you're going to end up with your heart broke. but you try it anyway. That's the risk you take. So whether if it's spiritual, whether if it's business, whether if it's love or whatever, if it feels new, if it feels scary, you're a little nervous about it, you ain't sure about it, it feels risky, you might want to take that chance. Because on the other side of that fear, it's a blessing. On the other side of that fear, it's a blessing. Okay? Let me go back. Let me make sure. Like I said, I don't want to miss anybody. We talking about spiritual struggles. What are some things you're going through? Hey, inner crystallization. I don't know if you're still on here, but sending you lots of love. Y'all, when I did the flame test and I talked about real crystals and how to test your crystals using the flame, the flame test where you got to make sure your crystal doesn't melt, smoke, or anything like that, get too hot to hold. Inner crystallization sent me some beautiful crystals. They sent me a rose quartz selenite. They sent me a bag of crystals, some sage, some beautiful things. Tested that rose quartz and it's real. Tested that rose quartz and it's real. Y'all know, y'all might not know, but on that, I used to wear a big rose quartz neck piece. I still have it. Tested that rose quartz. That rose quartz is real, baby. Okay, inner crystallization. Y'all better tap in. And black owned. Huh? And black owned. Tap in with inner crystallization. Okay. Spiritual struggles. Let's see. Like I said, I don't want to miss anybody. So I'm trying to go back. Make sure I could catch as many folks as I can. I appreciate the likes, y'all. Thank you. Okay. So we have Jamie Lene. Trying to know what to study and growing in my gifts. Because it's more than one. Study everything. Study everything. Study everything. When you study something, it doesn't mean that you have to adopt those practices. Okay? When you study it, just because you study it, don't mean you have to adopt those practices and try everything out. Okay? But study everything. I want, like, when I say study all types of meditation, study all types of yoga, study all types of African traditional religions and African spiritual practices, study every religion, okay? Study the multitude of information that's out there. And then, as you're studying, whatever connects to you, that's what you try out. That's what you try out. Whatever you feel like, I like that. Try it out. But when you try things, y'all, this is the thing. Don't just try something once and let it go. Okay? Try it a few times and see how it resonates with you. And then that's how you become a master, because you study different things. You try out different things. If you like it, you keep trying it, and then you keep practicing until you master that practice. Okay? Let me tell you, I learned that while I was in Bali. I learned that from the monks at the ashram. Okay? They master these practices. Okay? So when they talk about Kundalini awakening and things like that, really study Kundalini awakening. I told y'all this before. Okay? Go to YouTube, type in chakras, Kundalini. Type in just Kundalini awakening. I want you to Google it, research it. Sadhguru. I know y'all know Sadhguru. If you're on a spiritual journey, you know Sadhguru now. He got the big beard. He be sitting there, he got the big gray beard. Sadhguru. He has a good one. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in the Patreon for the wellness community tonight. He has a good clip on the Kundalini awakening, because it's tough. The Kundalini awakening is tough, but it's real. Okay, and you got to have certain things together before you even try that. But I want you to research that. So again, just study everything, study everything, study everything. And as far as spiritual gifts, I'm going to tell you this now. When it comes to understanding your multitude of spiritual gifts, this pairs well with studying everything, because you have to lose fear. You have to disconnect from fear. When I talked on my other live earlier that I'm going to release tomorrow on YouTube at 8 a.m., I talked about lucid dreaming and astral projection. A lot of y'all got that gift. That's a spiritual gift. A lot of y'all got that gift, but you're afraid because, full circle, you're so busy trying to control. When I talked about sleep paralysis is a gift. Okay, but you can't explore your gift, because when you wake up and realize you can't move your physical body, you trying to fight for that control. But if you just release that control, you'll be able to tap into that gift that is sleep paralysis and use that to astral project. Okay, You got to release that fear. And the fear is attached to the desire to control. So you see how it all works together? You see how it all works together? Okay? So that's how you tap into your spiritual gifts. Study all of them. Study the spiritual gift. Study the clairs, clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairsentient, clairaudience. It's a multitude of clairs. Study all the clairs and tap into them and see what's good for you. Study yourself. Study your ori, your inner divine self. Study your chakras and unbalancing your chakras and opening them up. And that's how you'll be able to explore your spiritual gifts more, more deeply, more in depth, more in depth. Okay. Shadow work has always been a struggle, knowing the signs of being healed. Child, let me tell you something. Okay. Excuse me. Healed in the past tense is a myth. Healed is a myth. Let me tell you why. Yes, you can heal from something, but life is always happening. Life is always happening. Okay? I thought I was fully healed until my granddaddy passed. My granddaddy passed. I had to go through a grief process and I had to heal. This was during COVID times. They lost my granddaddy ashes in the mail. Okay? Lost my granddaddy ashes in the mail. We didn't get them back. My granddaddy passed September 2020. We didn't get the ashes back till January 2021. I thought I was healed because we finally had some closure. My auntie passed February 2021. Grief again. Life happens, y'all. Life happens. Don't get too attached to this idea of being healed, past tense. Okay? Life happens. And I feel like when we get too attached to the idea that I am healed, you get caught off guard and thrown off track and you start to lose faith when life happens and wounds are reopened. Okay? We are always healing. And that's why we got to take the negative lens off of healing. Oftentimes we think about being on a healing journey and we see it as detriment. Okay, we on a healing journey and we see it as trauma and this fearful thing. The healing journey is the life journey. I don't too much prefer the term healing. That's why I always go with the term wellness. We're not on a healing journey. We're on a wellness journey. Okay, we're not on a healing journey. We're on a wellness journey. Okay, we're attaching and claiming our wellness. Because when we think of the healing journey, oftentimes we think of being broken and open wounds. And I'm not saying that you may not feel that way. I'm not saying that you may not feel broken. You may not feel like you have wounds that are open. But what I am saying is that your wellness dwells within you. So if you focus on the wounds, you can't focus on your wellness. What manifests is what's in your conscious awareness. Conscious, to be aware and focused. The subconscious is what we are aware of but not focused on. If you focus on healing, that means your wounds are in your conscious. It's in your awareness and focus. But if you focus on wellness, that wellness gets pushed to the conscious and those wounds get pushed to the subconscious. The most powerful thing is your consciousness. Because that's what you are aware of. That's what you focused on. That's what manifests. Your conscious is what manifests. Okay? Your conscious impacts your subconscious. They can exchange. They have energy exchange. If you focus all your energy on your wellness and improving your wellness, I drink these herbs for my wellness. I meditate for my wellness. I pray for my wellness. I rest for my wellness. If you do things for your wellness, the healing is inevitable. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. So as life is happening, nothing is able to really throw you off your square because you focused on your wellness. See, when you focused on healing, you focused on the wounds. You're trying to fix up the wounds. Okay? The wounds gonna get healed. Those things that come up in life, they're gonna get handled. because we are wellness focused. Okay, so that's just a little way to shift the mindset. It's a little way to shift the thought, to shift the perspective, because that impacts how we handle life. Okay, so it's just a little shift. Nothing wrong with it, but just a little shift. Shift from being on a healing journey to a wellness journey. Okay? We're just switching our conscious and our subconscious, and we're focusing on manifesting wellness as opposed to being focused on those wounds and trying to fix wounds. Those wounds is going to fix. Those wounds is going to heal because we so focused on our wellness. Everything we're doing for our wellness is feeding us. Okay? Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate that. Okay, so it's just a little just a little pinch of mindset shift. Okay, just try it out for a while. Let's change our language. Let's change how we look at it. Let's change our thinking. Okay, not so much of a healing journey. It's not wound focused. We're on a wellness journey. We wellness focused. Okay, just a little shift. Okay. Understanding the significance of angel numbers and why I see them so much. Angel numbers is just a sign that an ancestor's spirit is communicating with you. The universe is communicating with you. As we know, every number has meaning. So when you see numbers, so you can see numbers 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. You can see them in that order, or you can see triple digits, 4, 4, 4, 1, 1, 1. Quadruple, whatever. I'm going to do a whole video on angel numbers, okay? I think it's important for us to know them. But I'm going to tell y'all this. Just a little hint. Just a little hint. When it comes to them angel numbers. Study a variety of forms of numerology. Okay? Study a variety of forms of numerology. Okay? Please. And when you study, I want you to study the Moors, okay? Because they gave us math. So I want you to study Moorish science and mathematics. I want you to study Kemetic science and mathematics. I want you to study supreme science and mathematics, okay? That's numerology for us. Hello? Hello? More Kemetic supreme. Study those forms of mathematics and numerology, okay? And make sure that how we view numbers and how we view our ancestral communication is in alignment with us. It's in alignment with our ancestors, okay? Sometimes we be applying, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you could apply both. I do that as well. Sometimes I apply their mathematical knowledge and their definitions, but I also know, ours. And, I'll be like, that resonates. Different things resonate at different times. But I'm just saying, this is going back again, always full circle, study everything. Okay, sometimes we study a lot and we forget to study us. We got our own mathematics, we got our own numerology. We got our own angel numbers. Okay, we got our own. So make sure you study us too. Supreme mathematics, Moorish science and mathematics, Kemetic science and mathematics. Study all of it, okay? Study the 42 laws of Mayat. Study all of it, okay? Because sometimes you'll even notice that resonates as well. You see 444, you go back and you study the 40th law, the 4th law of Mayat, the 40th law of Mayat, okay? Study the 4th law and the 40th law, and you'll see that resonates, okay? They pair well together, okay? So we gotta tap into our own stuff and support our own stuff and promote our own stuff too. Sometimes our ancestors is communicating to us from what they produce. Let's consider. So that's a good way to understand angel numbers. Study everything. Don't forget us, huh? Don't forget. Okay. You said, I don't know how to pray. YouTube.com/The Queen Poe. I have a video on how to pray. 5 steps. It's literally called How to Pray. YouTube.com/The Queen Poe. I have a video called How to Pray. Okay? And it's universal. I'm teaching how to pray for across religions. So because this happens to me a lot, where I'll be in religiously diverse rooms, right? I work with the education system. I used to work in the education system as a teacher, and we would have dinners and gatherings, Thanksgiving, and I'm the spiritual girl everywhere I go. So they'll be like, "Can you pray?" All right. So I teach in that video. I teach how to pray when you are for yourself and when you are in religiously diverse rooms. Okay. In that, I include ancestors, making sure that you make a declaration before you pray, setting your intentions before you pray, giving gratitude and starting your prayer in gratitude. Before making a request or a desire, I talk about how to close the prayer, whether you want to do your ashe, amen, I mean, whatever feels well for you. But youtube.com/the Queen Poe, how to pray. Okay, you could just go to YouTube and type the Queen Poe, how to pray, and it'll pop up. Okay, letting go of my anxious attachment to people who are no good for my spirit. First off, the fact that you can acknowledge that you have an anxious attachment style already says a lot about your self-awareness. Okay, that already says a lot about the work you're doing. But what that is going to go back to, that good old shadow work. What has caused you to have anxious attachment? Who let you down? Who abandoned you? These are questions you have to answer within. Who abandoned you? What is your fears? What are your fears? What's causing the anxious attachment style? If they walk away, what is your fear is going to happen to you? And why is that fear present? Did you experience that before? When is the first time you felt that? This is all shadow work questions. When is the first time you felt that? And why do you fear that feeling again? Okay, so that's all shadow work questions that you want to deep dive and ask yourself. You said you caught some notes for the astral travel. Ashe, Mayada. I'm glad you caught some notes for that. Like I said, I did a video earlier on lucid dreaming and astral traveling. I'll be releasing that on my YouTube at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. I just got to go. It's already uploaded. I just got to go back and timestamp it. You said food tasting different. Black Fairy said food tasting different. And not being able to make my mind on anything. Listen. Okay, listen. Feeling indecisive. Of course, food gonna taste different because when you're on a spiritual journey, you live in different. When you're on a spiritual journey, you live in different. You're not eating what you used to eat. You're not doing what you used to do. So things are going to taste different. And that's a good thing. But I do urge you this, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Spiritual journey folks, come in. Just because you changed, don't forget where the hell you came from. Don't forget who you used to be and how you used to feel. Because when you forget, the universe will remind you. The universe will bring you right back. I've seen it happen myself, okay? And I'm not saying this specifically to you, Black Fairy. I'm speaking to anybody because let me tell you something, especially when it comes to that diet. Okay, usually that's the first thing we start to change when we on our spiritual journey. We start eating better, taking herbs, drinking smoothies and shit, becoming vegetarian and vegan and all that. We start doing that. I haven't eaten meat in over 10 years, okay? Listen to me now. I've had a lot of friends on my spiritual journey who have converted to become a vegetarian and converted to, taking herbs and stuff. And, that they just converted. As soon as they start doing better, they start talking bad about everybody who ain't doing what they doing. Don't become that person. As soon as they start doing better, I had a friend who was still living with her mama cooking bacon. Oh, I can't take it. Oh, I'm throwing up. I can't. Oh God, I gotta leave the house. I can't. This is horrible. How could you put that in your body? That is disgusting. Bitch, you was sucking down bacon when I met you. You was eating BLTs when I met you. Nobody was talking to you like that. Nobody was judging you like that. I never ate pork in my life. Okay, I didn't grow up in a pork-based household, but I'm not judging folks eating a bacon sandwich. Who are you to judge? Don't forget when that bacon was the favorite pick on the burger. Your go-to condiment. Don't forget where you came from. That's not how you teach people. Okay? You teach people through modeling. Let them see you be better. Let them see you glow. Let them see you look better and be like, girl, you looking good. What you doing? Oh, I cut out the meat. Since I cut out that meat, I've been doing good. But you don't have to say, oh, you eating an oxtail. Oh my God, how could oxtail? How could you? Y'all, don't be like that. Let people come into the light, or, into their own light. Because that's another thing. Everybody is not meant to be a vegan vegetarian for their journey. That's not everybody's alignment, So we got to be careful how we judge people and what we project onto people. I'm proud of y'all. Do different, live better, but don't forget where you came from. Like I said, I ain't ate meat in 10 years, but I remember how good the moxtails used to taste, huh? I remember how that fried chicken. I remember it. I ain't forgot. I remember going to the bodega and getting me a Sausalito with Sausalito turkey with monster cheese. Okay, on a roll. Lettuce, tomato, salt, pepper, oil, and vinegar. I remember $3 it used to be. I remember. I don't forget where I came from. It's been 10 years, but you do what's well for you. You do what makes you happy. We got to be careful with that, So yes, food tasting different. We changing our eating habits. It's a beautiful, blessed thing, and we are modeling. I promise y'all, I don't do no powder. I promise y'all I don't do no powder. I just be talking. I promise y'all I ain't on the powder. But we model our change. Our spiritual journey is reflected in us, so people will see you, they see they glow, and that's how you advise people. But not being able to make up your mind on anything, the indecisiveness on the spiritual journey is a real thing. That's just that's just a part of it. But as you become, as you grow in your spiritual journey, what I've come to realize is it's not so much being indecisive, it's more or less being a free spirit. The difference, a key to understanding if you're indecisive versus a free spirit is your ability to go with the flow. You got to remember, we are on a spiritual, if you caught my hoodoo live yesterday, I talked about this, especially when you practice hoodoo. When you practice hoodoo, we honor the elements. Thank y'all for the likes. I appreciate it. When, with hoodoo, we honor the elements. So when you honoring the elements, you become them. Okay, so are you indecisive or do you just flow like water? Are you willing to try different things out? Do you flow like water? For people who feel like you're constantly shifting and changing, are you indecisive or have you embodied that fire element and you are always willing to purify and start anew? Have you embodied that wind and you're able to move? These are aspects of honoring the elements. You begin to embody them. You realize that you are water, you are fire, you are air, you are earth. You want to be in nature more. You want to connect more. You want to be outside more. You want to stand in the sun more. You don't mind dancing in the rain, walking through the rain. You don't have the fear of getting wet. You want to be around that water. That's how you know when you really on your spiritual journey is when you start connecting with them elements and you start moving life like those elements. I find that the deeper you get on your spiritual journey, you lose connection with, again, that control, right? I should have titled this Control. You lose connection with that desire to control. So what is making a decision? Yes, you need to be able to make decisions, of course, but also you need to be able to go with the flow. You need to be able to sway, bend, not break. You need to be able to sway. You need to be able to go with the flow. Like water, you got to be able to change with the wind. You got to be able to purify and cleanse and release things like fire. So again, shifting the mindset, we shifting our perspective. Is that a negative thing or is it a sign of growth? Is it a negative thing or have you grown? Let's check in with ourselves. So we're talking about spiritual journeys. What are you struggling with on your spiritual journey? Kimmy Cole KC said, focus. I feel my spiritual journey has been lost or stalled. You feel like your spiritual journey has been lost or stalled. Lost how? Like what is lost? Does it not look how you want it to look? Is it not happening how you thought it would happen? And these are not questions that you answer for me. Answer them within yourself. I often find like when I hear people say I feel lost or I feel stuck, it's because they're not moving how they think they should be moving. Okay? Is that it? Are you not moving how you think you should be moving? Are you not where you think you should be? Check in with yourself. Check in. Let's tap in. Ask yourself, really, where are you on your spiritual journey? What are you doing? Because that's another thing. If the answer to those questions are no, if you feel like, hey, no, I genuinely feel stuck, I genuinely feel lost, shift what you're doing. Shift your practice. Okay, so you may need to start watching a different documentary. You need to start reading a different book. You may need to start listening to some different mentors. Okay, I want y'all to go tap in y'all wellness community. If you're in the wellness community, y'all know. If y'all not in the wellness community, patreon.com/the Queen Poe. I have a spiritual community. We have a group chat. We have a book list. We having a Zoom meeting coming up. If you are in the wellness community, I need y'all to go to the Patreon and vote on the poll of which of the 2 dates is best for you for the Zoom meeting. We got November 5th or we got November 12th. Go vote on the poll because the poll closes tomorrow. Go vote on the poll because it closes tomorrow. Okay? But if you're in the wellness community, you know what I'm about to say. I want y'all to tap in with Thich Nhat Hanh. Okay, if you need somebody new to study, Kimmy Cole KOC. You said you feel lost or stuck. I'm about to give you some new mentors to tap into. Maybe you can learn something different and start shifting practice. Tap in with Thich Nhat Hanh. Thich Nhat Hanh. He is a Buddhist monk. His whole specialty is mindfulness. He has a lot of meditations on YouTube. He has a lot of guided practice on YouTube. He has a lot of interviews and speeches. But go get his book. Start with The Miracle of Mindfulness. It's a little thin book. Okay, so even if y'all are not readers, you could be into it. It's a little thin book, but it's a guide on mindfulness. And he has how you can practice mindfulness every day. Tap in with Thich Nhat Hanh. I want you to tap in, of course, I said earlier, with Sadhguru. Tap in with Sadhguru. If you need another shift and you want to start understanding, practicing that comedic work and that comedic healing, I want you to tap in with Queen Afua. Tap in with Queen Afua. Queen Afua was live on IG yesterday. I sent it to the wellness community. I hope some of y'all caught it. Okay? Queen Afua was live on IG yesterday. Okay? If you want some comedic energy, tap into her. Okay? So those are 3 other people, 3 new people. Okay, that you could tap into and just start understanding some stuff. If you want to get into breath work, I advise all of y'all do this. Get into breath work. I need you to tap in. Hi, Goddess Kamara. I see you just joined the Patreon. Hi. Okay, tap in. If you're working on breath work, tap in. Listen close. Wim Hof. Wim Hof. WIMHOF. If you're in the wellness community, you know. Y'all know my favorite breathwork technique. That Wim Hof technique is no game. Okay, so I gave you a 4th potential new mentor. Okay, virtual mentor that you could tap into. So sometimes when you feel stuck on your spiritual journey, you just need to shift your practice. You need to try some new things. Tap into some new people, some new ways of life. Add a little spice into your journey. Okay, and that'll help. Let's see. Living in the same house with my family who don't understand why I stepped away from my Baptist upbringing. Listen, I see you. I hire you. Living in the house with family who don't understand why you stepped away from your Baptist upbringing. Let me tell you something. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. Okay. Living in the house with family. You grew up very Christian. Grew up very any religion. You're on a spiritual journey now. They don't understand it. They talking down on you. They playing with you. They trying to stop you, trying to get in your way, and you don't know what to do. This is the harsh truth of it. You're going to have to emotionally detach. Okay? I want you to study detachment. You're going to have to detach emotionally. You know why? Because we cannot control them. Going back to control. You have to release the idea of controlling them. And a lot of people don't realize this, that You know, we talk about controlling our family, how to control our family. You know, I'm not being controlling. I'm not being controlling. The fact that you want them to change, the fact that you're trying to change them is a form of controlling them. The fact that, excuse me, y'all, I keep on burping. I apologize, okay? The fact that, you know, sometimes we want to teach them. We want them to see us different. That's controlling, you know? That's controlling. And it's not controlling in a negative way. I know your intentions is not to be negative. You just want them to understand you. But to understand you, you want to shift their perspective and you want to change them. You know, so we got to release that idea of control. They will understand, trust me. The universe is going to give them two options. They can either understand you or they will lose connection with you. Those two options is going to come to them either way. They have the option to understand and keep and build connection or disconnect from you. Those going to be the only two options. But what you have to do is stand firm, stand strong. This is your choice. This is who you are. And the next thing you need to do is emotionally detach from them. Because they gonna keep trying you. They gonna keep testing you. I already told y'all on the other live. As we change, our bonds with people change. As we go on our spiritual journey and we become different people and we change, your bonds with folks is gonna change, y'all. It's inevitable. You are becoming a different person. Your bonds with your friends, your bonds with your family is going to change. It happens. It just happens. It just does. Okay? You just got to be open and communicate with that. Y'all, I'm changing. I'm a different person. And I'm telling you now, they're going to test you. They're going to try you. Okay? I used to be out there. I told y'all before, I used to be out there now. Okay? I was the friend that when we running down on somebody, they coming to get me. Okay? I told y'all. Randy, if you on here, okay? My homegirl Randy used to drive from Augusta to Savannah to come get me and bring me back to Augusta because she knew when we pull up, it was well known. When we pull up, it's over. Once they put me in the car, if we gone, we gone. That's how it went. But I changed, and I wasn't that girl no more. I didn't want to be the girl, you know, busting folks' windows out, busting their tires, dragging folks out their house, kicking down doors. I didn't want to be that girl no more. Okay? But you know, shout out to me and Randy been down since high school. Shout out to her. You know, your friends love you. Y'all bond is built on mutual respect. Okay? And it wasn't just Randy. It's a lot of other friends. You know, I would have times where I'd be like, y'all, I'm not smoking no more. I'm taking a break. I'm detoxing from smoking. They still gonna pass you the blunt to see if you're gonna take it. You could be like, y'all, I don't want to fight no more. I ain't going to be out there fighting no more. They still going to call you like, girl, such and such, this is happening. Pull up, bitch, pull up. That's up to you whether you going to pull up. That's up to you whether you going to come. That's up to you. You know, so your friends and your family is still going to try you. But that's why I said you got to stand strong and you just got to emotionally detach because you can't take those tests personal. They're just trying to see how serious you are. You know, you say you're vegetarian now. Then your mama like, we ain't making no vegetarian food in this house. I cook what I cook. Either you gonna eat or you gonna starve. You got to stand on your square. Are you really who you say you are? And trust when I tell you, they're usually gonna come around. They're usually gonna come around. They're usually gonna be like, oh, he's serious. Oh, she's serious. Oh, they serious. You know, and they're going to eventually stop testing you and just accept. So that's how it goes. When you are on a spiritual journey, I'm about to tell y'all the phases when it comes to bonds with family and friends. It's going to start with rejection. They're going to reject you. They're going to talk bad about you, talk down to you, talk down about you. It's going to start with rejection. Then they're going to test you. Okay, well, this is who you say you are. All right, well, I'm cool with it. But trial. Let's see if you really like that. Let's see if you really change. Let's see if you really do it. They're going to keep testing you. And then it's going to be acceptance. They're just going to accept who you are. They're going to accept how you are. They're going to accept that you change. And y'all bond to be y'all bond. And again, it's just a different bond. Okay? All right. So we're talking about struggles on our spiritual journey. Let's get into it. Okay. We're scrolling down. Diddy, please, please, I'm on a live. Just came in and already telling me what I needed to hear. Ashe, Ashe. Hey, Toddy, Toddy, Toddy. I like Toddy, Toddy. Hey, Toddy, Toddy. Wow, I needed to hear this right now. Oh, Ashe. That's your real hair. Yeah, are you white? Are you white? Brown Sims Imaging. Yes, this is my real locks. Okay, most of y'all, it really be mainly white people who ask me that. Clearly, you can see some of them are shorter than the other. Thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate that. Some of them are shorter than the other. I am a 100% free-form locker. I know it's hard to believe, but I started from scratch. You could go to my YouTube and see my lock journey. That's how I blew up on YouTube, doing lock videos at first, and then started doing spirituality videos and stuff from the lock videos. But shaved my head bald 2014. It was the day of my aunt's funeral. She had just passed of cancer, and I shaved my head bald of 2014 and been freeforming since then. So my locks are different sizes, different lengths, because some of them have broken off. Because on my YouTube, I also talk about that with my locks, how I had went through a phase where, on a weight loss journey, I wasn't eating healthy. I was not eating much, not getting the nutrients I needed. And some of my locks, all my locks from that phase of my life have a thin spot. Okay, so I could literally pull locks up from that phase and they have thin spots from that phase of my life. So some of them have broken off. Diddy don't want y'all to see. Diddy. I'm on the live. But yeah, some of them have broken off. But yeah, we are 2014. It's 2022. We are 8 years and some change in. 8 years and some change in. This is all me. But like I said, usually white people ask me that. I was in the hospital one day, y'all, and this white girl was like, "Oh, that's your real hair?" Because I took my hat off. I always protect my crown chakra, hats and bonnets and things. So I took my hat off and she saw my roots. Like I said, I'm a freeformer, so she saw my roots and she was like, "That's your real hair?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "I thought you guys do it with the weave." I said, I support my faux lock girlies, but y'all got us fucked up out here. Okay? I support my faux lock girlies, but y'all... Okay? The pale skins don't even know the difference. They don't even know the difference. Y'all got me out here fighting for my life. I had to tell her, look at the ends. That's my real hair. Okay? Shout out to the faux lock girlies, though. I love y'all. I support y'all. Do your thing beautiful. Huh? But the whites don't even, they think we all out here fold up. You say you don't know how to pray? YouTube.com/The Queen Poe, how to pray. I have a full video on that. Did he? Thank y'all so much for the likes. I'm scrolling down. So we talking about spiritual journey, things that you are struggling with on your spiritual journey. Did he? Y'all, I'm sorry. Okay, he gonna calm down in a second. My neighbor is going in and out the house. I'm reading y'all comments. You remind me of I remind you of the friend off Love Jones. Nina. That was my favorite movie, y'all, until I got older and realized it was toxic, huh? How many of y'all did that with black movies? I got older and realized it was toxic. Nina. Darius. Diddy. Salam. Please. I'm on the live with the people. Please, Salam. Come on. Let's be sweet. I'm on the live with the people. Let's be sweet. Aren't you feeling kind? In a good mood? But yeah, Love Jones was toxic, y'all. Okay, Darius Love Hall was toxic. Isaiah Washington character was toxic. How you gonna show up to your friend's party with a new hoe and you married? I don't care if y'all separated or not. And we cool with your wife. We was just over here vibing with your wife at the party. How you gonna do that? When Darius tried Nina with the little love test. Come Come on now. And Nina tried Darius with the little love test too. They both was trying each other. Y'all don't get me started on Love Jones. What is your opinion on starting a spiritual journey while grieving? Oh, first off, much love. She said my son, which I don't even want to say it. Ooh. Her son just transitioned. Much love and light to your son's energy. Much peace to your son's energy. Much peace and healing energy to you. Wellness energy to you. Okay? Please receive that. Much peace and wellness energy to you. Okay? Sending you a lot of love. Starting a spiritual journey in the midst of grief is a tough thing. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's okay. It's okay to start studying. But I don't advise that you attach your spiritual journey fully to the grief. Okay? Open up and go through the grief. Study grief. Study the phases of grief. Okay? As you are studying spiritual practices, use some of those spiritual practices to move through the phases of grief, like meditation, okay? Like prayer, like candle work and things like that. Use that, to help you move through the process of grief. But the reason I'm saying is I don't want you to dive deep on your spiritual journey in the midst of grief is because I don't want you to suppress the grief process. Because if you suppress it now, that thing gonna come back up on you. It's gonna come back up on you. So what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to shift focus on spiritual journey and I'm healing and I'm on this path. Take a moment to just sit in the grief and allow the process to process. And it's going to take some time. That's your son. That was your baby. So you have the right to grieve for however long you need to. Study the spirituality, study spiritual work, study spiritual practices. But please take your time to grieve because I don't want you to get so focused on this spiritual journey that you don't allow grief to have its way for a moment. Okay? Sometimes, y'all, we just got to let grief have its way. Sometimes we do. All right? If y'all know me, y'all know when my aunt was like my mother. Okay? She was my mother figure. Okay? My aunt passed. I was in deep grief for a year and a half. Okay? I was in deep grief for a year and a half. That thing was no game. But I knew I had to go through it. Because I didn't want for 5 years later a song to play or me to ride past her house and I break down and can't come back from it. Okay? So that's why I'm advising that you just allow grief to have its process. Study spirituality, study the spiritual journey, but allow grief to kind of have its process. Okay? If you could acknowledge that grief. All right? Again, sending you lots of love, lots of love. Afro High Priestess, hey! I'm in the alone phase. Ashe, the alone phase is good. The alone phase is good. It gives us time to tap in and know ourselves. But again, don't be afraid to reach out to somebody if you need to. You said, okay. Josh Sun 821 said, but I feel like no one cares. I reach out and they don't reach back. That's when you know the universe wants you to sit by yourself. Okay? So earlier I talked about when you are in that alone phase of grief, sometimes it feels, not of grief, I'm sorry. When you are in that alone phase of the spiritual journey, sometimes it feels like, I'm by myself, I don't have no friends, and you start craving community. And sometimes you do need community. So don't be afraid to pick up that phone and call somebody. But if you pick up that phone and nobody answers the phone, nobody reaches back, nobody comes and shows you love, that sometimes is the universe telling you, hey, I told you to sit by your damn self. Sit down. Sometimes the universe is saying that. Sometimes the universe is saying, hey, you don't need nobody right now. Sit down. And we get mad at the folks for not answering the phone. But sometimes the universe is saying, sit that ass down. by yourself. You need to unpack your thoughts. You need to unpack your energy. How are you feeling right now? What's your aura right now? What are you connecting with? And who are you connecting with right now? What are you connecting to? What are you craving? Okay, spiritually craving, mentally craving. Okay, so sometimes we just need to unpack. So when you find yourself reaching out for community and nobody is reaching back, sometimes that's the universe putting the blockage. It's not that person or those people. Sometimes the universe is blocking that. All right. Thank y'all for the likes. I appreciate it. We had 31,000 likes. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Ray Goddess. What if I know that he is my soulmate, but he growing with me spiritually? I'm guessing you meant he's not, because if he's your soulmate and he is growing with you spiritually, that's a good thing. But if you feel like he is your soulmate and he's not growing with you spiritually, let me say this. If you was on my live the other day, you know what I'm going to say, huh? You know what I'm going to say. If you was on my live the other day, I'm not no leave your nigga type of woman. Okay? I'm not the leave your man kind of friend. I'm the what you want to do, sis, friend. Okay? That's me. So I'm not about to sit up here and tell you, leave him, leave him. Let me tell you something. Relationships, if you're trying to have a relationship, you trying to be with somebody, y'all going to go through different phases of your life. When you 10 years in with somebody, you 20 years in with somebody, y'all are human beings. You going through your spiritual journey, this is not the first change in life you going to have. If you plan on being with that person, being with that soulmate for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, you going to change, he going to change, then you going to change again, and he going to change again. And trust me when I tell you, y'all not always going to be in alignment with the change. When you make a commitment to be with somebody, you are committing to working through it. You are committing to staying with them through the different phases and different changes of life. That's what you are committing to. Okay? You're making a commitment. So if you feel like this person is truly your soulmate and you are on your spiritual journey, but he is not, it is not your job to try to change him. It's not your job to try to force him. It's not your job to make him get on a spiritual journey. Your job is to focus on you and keep growing and allow him to manifest how he is. As long as he's not blocking you, he's not hurting you or harming you, he's not trying to stop you from doing what you need to do for your wellness, allow him to just be who he is. And he'll come into it in his own time. Okay? So that's not a sign that you need to end the relationship. Daddy, they don't want to see your teeth, the insides of your mouth, huh? Okay? Be a gentleman. But yes, okay, so that's not the sign that you need to leave him. That's just the sign that you need to allow him to be who he is and focus on being who you are. And if y'all truly love each other and y'all support each other, y'all just allow each other to go through these phases. But again, this ain't going to be the first change and the last change. He going to go on him a little journey. Okay, and he going to change one day too. You want him to leave you alone because you ain't into what he into? Huh? You probably don't need to be sitting and playing a game with his ass. He ain't left you for that. He ain't left you because you ain't no PlayStation type of bitch. Huh? He ain't left you because you ain't no football team type of person. We be so quick to leave a nigga alone because he don't show up. He ain't us with a penis. So many women, we just want ourselves with a penis on. You want that man to do everything you do. You want him to be everything you into. You want him to like everything you like. They are full human beings on their own. Let him be who he is. Y'all balance each other out. Okay, balance each other out. But if he's trying to block you, then you got to let him go. If he's trying to stop your spiritual journey, if he's throwing your herbs out, throwing your crystals out and shit, whooping your ass, girl, let him go. Okay? Let him go then. Now, we ain't no fool. Okay? We ain't no fool. All right. Let's move forward. Ashe. Thank you so much, Shanae, for the roses. I appreciate that. Thank you, Shanae. Okay, I'm moving forward. We're talking about struggles on the spiritual journey. Let's get into it. Yes, I started traveling by myself. It's so peaceful. Yes, it is. It's so peaceful. That was the first time in my life, because like I said, I grew up with siblings. Grew up with siblings, and then went to college and always had roommates, okay? So solo traveling was the first time that I was ever able to fully experience being by myself anywhere. Like, that was the first time I was able to wake up and I was able to like go take a shower and not have to ask like, hey, I'm about to go take a shower. Anybody need to use the bathroom first? You know, that's how deep solo traveling was for me. It was my first time I was able to get up and not have to worry about helping nobody or fixing nobody, nothing, or doing nothing. Like, it was all about me. That was that was the first time I really got to like tap into myself. You know, solo traveling was such a beautiful thing. And I did it for a year straight. A year straight. It used to be hard for me to go out because I literally would feel everybody in their thoughts. You're an empath. You're an empath. Okay, y'all, I'm scrolling down. I see a lot of y'all comments from the previous conversation. Okay. We're talking about struggles on your spiritual journey. Those are not dreads, those are locks. You know, listen, Shawnee Dean 33. Shawnee Dean 33 said, those are not dreads, those are locks. You know, for me, yeah, I call them locks. I do refer to them as locks, you know. But also, how I feel about semantics, I would care more about intentions. What's your intentions when you say it? You know, words have power, but the power to me lies in the intention. And I feel like this about any word, right? Like an example I like to use is sis. You know, sis it could be a term of endearment. It could be a term of shade and disrespect. Same thing with the B word, you know. I'm a cusser. I'm a cussing black woman, huh? So sometimes I'll be like, bitch, you know, term of endearment. But if somebody say the B word the wrong way, it's negative, you know. So regarding locks, when somebody says dreads, I don't get, you know, defensive. I don't take it as a negative thing. You know, everybody has their own historical connotations on locks versus dreads and all of that. Some people, I saw a video with a sister and she was trying to say that the term dreads is not negative, and then people were stitching her and saying it is negative. I get all of that, but my question is, what's your intentions when you say it to me? That's how I feel. You know, what's the person's intentions? Y'all know my family is from the South. Okay. I lived in the South for many years. You know, shout out to Augusta, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, all of that. When they say dreads down south, that's just what you call them. They just call them dreads, you know. So I don't take it in a negative way when somebody says, oh, your dreads look good. Your dreads look good. I'm not like, you're not dreads, they're locks. You know, not to say that was your tone, because I understand where you was going. But yeah, just for me personally, like, it doesn't necessarily bother me when somebody says dreads. Of course, now if somebody is like, oh, your hair looks nasty, those dreads are horrible, then I'm like, hold on now. You know, we got to explain a few things. But yeah, if somebody call them dreads, but I know your intentions are well, and especially if that's just like the dialect, the colloquialism where you from, and that's just what y'all call them, cool. You know, I'm cool with it. Okay, coming to club, shaking my dress, throwing these bows, busting these heads. Bitch, irrelevant steps on the rest of they go by equivalent. I blend down, coming in no crime, not leaving no trace, not leaving no line. We necking it back because I got a 9. I blow you away because you wasting my time. Stupid ass niggas, I know what to do. I play with your head, you so cool. I know what you haters so watch to do. Talking about me, then I'm talking to you. You bucking on us. I'm reading the comments looking for somebody else. The most fire verse on that song, Diamond got a lot of credit, but that last verse went up. I just don't like, because y'all know he got them charges, huh? So I just don't be liking to say it, but he had the best verse. But you know he got them charges. If you don't know researching, he got them charges. But he had the best verse on that song, that last verse. Okay, how do you start a healing journey when you're grieving? We talked about that already a little bit. Okay, we talked about that a little bit. Thank y'all for the likes. I appreciate it. We at 36K. What about praying and asking God about these things before you do then? About what things? Really knowing that I'm the one to lead my family. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Shar Sammy 12. So we talking about struggles on a spiritual journey. Shar Sammy 12 said, really knowing that I'm the one to lead my family, but dealing with doubt. Let's talk about breaking generational curses. Let's talk about being the first one on a spiritual journey on your in your family, right? And knowing that you are the generational curse breaker. You are the family leader. It takes a lot of power, a lot of energy to get comfortable with that. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of power and a lot of energy to get comfortable with that role and that responsibility. Being the change agent, being the generational curse breaker, being the one to shift and change in your family takes a lot of power and a lot of energy and a lot of control. You got to have a lot of self-control. Because everything, especially in your family, is going to try to come up against you. You know why? Because this has been a generational norm. So there's phases in being the generational curse breaker. First, you got to get them to realize that it's a curse. Sometimes our family don't even realize it's a curse, y'all. Sometimes they don't even realize that it's a problem. Sometimes they don't realize that this is an issue. So the hardest thing is trying to get them to realize that the generational curse is a curse at all. They have normalized this shit for so long. They've normalized this trauma for so long. They don't even realize that it's a problem. So that be the hard part, okay? That be the hard part. You got to help them realize that it's an issue. Then once you try to help them realize it's an issue, they're going to try to fight you tooth and nail that it's not a problem. Being the generational curse breaker, being the change agent in your family, sometimes looks like you being the black sheep of your family. And you just got to accept that role. You got to take it on. You got to embrace it. You got to stand strong in it. Okay? You got to get comfortable being the weird one. You got to get comfortable being the talked about one. You got to get comfortable being the not liked one. You got to get comfortable being the butt of the joke. Or you just ain't going to come around. Which one you going to do? Okay? That's what you got to get comfortable with it. I'm telling y'all now, that's the harsh reality. You got to get comfortable with it. Okay? When you are the generational curse breaker, the change agent in your family, you got to get comfortable with being the black sheep, with being a different one, with being the unique one. You got to get comfortable with it. People think being the leader is cute because it sounds good. People think being the head is cute, but it sounds good. But as I always say, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Just got to get comfortable with it. What about praying and asking God about I said that one already. I said that one. Oh, okay, hold on. You said I moved seven states away. I moved across the country to get away. Okay. Not them acting scared to be around me. Oh, why? Because they think you a witch. So they act scared to be around you because they think you a witch. Your Ashe is lit. Ashe, yes. That's dreams and interpretations. To study dreams and interpretations. Like I said, I got a video coming out on my YouTube tomorrow at 8 a.m. It's releasing on my YouTube tomorrow at 8 a.m. about lucid dreaming and astral projection. But when it comes to being able to interpret your dreams, you got to get a dream journal. Keep a journal next to your bed, and as soon as you wake up, you need to start writing down your dreams. Write down what was in them, who was in them, what was happening, okay? And then this is how you build your symbolism book. This is how you build your own personal dream interpretation book. Then I want you to compare that to real life. So let me give you an example. Say I have a dream, right? I dream I go to sleep and I dream that I'm walking down the street and I'm dressed in all white and a white bird passes me by, and then a cousin comes up to me and starts talking to me about something, and as they talking to me, then it starts raining outside. I need to write all them details down. And then in real life, what do those things represent to me, for me? Okay, so in real life, when I see a blue bird, what happens? What occurs? Because that, whatever happens, whatever occurs, is now my association. It's my symbolism. So when that blue bird shows up in my white dream, when that blue bird shows up in my dream, I know that's a sign for me that this is going to happen. That's how you build your own personal dream book. Okay? That's how you do that. So signs and symbols are different for everybody. So yes, you can Google like meaning of a blue bird. You can Google that. But you got to remember, you're reading somebody else's interpretation. You're reading somebody else's, symbolism. That may not be how that symbol applies and works for you. Okay? That may not be. And you can ask any medium, any consultant, anybody, who does spiritual work. We all have different symbolisms. And that's something that when we get together, we sit down and talk about. We sit like, oh, so when you see this, what that mean for you? Ooh, it means this when we talk about this stuff. So I'm telling y'all, like, this is that signs and symbols is different for everybody. Okay? Signs and symbols is different for everybody. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate that. It's different for everybody. Okay? So that's how you build up your own little dream book. Your dreams have been lucid. Oh, that's a blessing. It's a spiritual gift. I dreamt of a snake. Again, what do snakes mean for you? Okay, because snakes could mean a multitude of things. It could mean deception, but snakes could also mean power. Snakes could also be a messenger. So it just depends on what it means for you. Breaking glass ceilings for the family isn't easy. You get hurt in the process. Yup. Sure do. You sure do. Okay? Scared I'm going to read them they rights. Listen, sometimes that's, when we separating from family, sometimes y'all get into it. Y'all cuss each other out. Are you a Reiki healer? Yes, I am a Reiki healer. I'm a licensed, I'm a certified master Reiki healer and shaman. Yes, I am. But I practice Reiki on myself a lot, but I don't do a lot of Reiki consultations. I always, I have things that I studied and I'm licensed in and certified in, I should say. But I have my passions. I have the things I'm passionate about. No, I'm not in Georgia anymore. I'm in New York. I used to live in Georgia though. But I have things I'm passionate about. And what I'm passionate about for me, when I do consultations, I do holistic wellness consultations, as well as my stuff is based in mediumship, ancestor veneration, and connecting with ancestors and spirit in that way. Okay, so that's my specialty. So when folks want Reiki or want Reiki healing, I have in the wellness community, I have what I call a consultation collective. So it's a collective of consultants who all specialize in their passions. That's what I'm big on. I don't ever y'all, listen to me close when you're on your spiritual journey. I don't ever recommend you going to the one all do all person. Okay? I don't ever recommend that. Go to people who have their thing that they passionate about. Remember the other day in the live, people was talking to me about, and I said, they were talking to me about their dreams. And I said, y'all, I'm not passionate about dream interpretation. Okay? Go to somebody who's passionate about that. Because when you're passionate about something, you not only spend your time studying that, you invest your energy into that. My energy is invested into my medium gift. That's what my energy is invested in. My energy is invested in ancestor work. That's why I talk a lot about ancestor veneration and stuff. Okay, I'm a certified master Reiki practitioner and shaman. I'm also a certified doula. I'm certified in a multitude of things. I'm a herbalist. So I've studied, I'm certified in a multitude of things, which is why I'll recommend a few things. But yes, Aiden is my nephew. Are you Aiden's cousin who had called me that day? Is that you? Is that you? Aiden is my nephew. That's my baby. Huh? Y'all got 5 nieces and nephew. Okay, Aiden is one of them. But yeah, so for Reiki, I always, oh, you're not the person who called me, so you just know Aiden? Huh? You just know Aiden? That's my little nephew, y'all. You know my nephew getting older, y'all. He think he fine. I'll be having to get, you better go sit it down. Go sit it down. Okay. But yes, for Reiki, I always recommend in the Consultation Collective, I recommend Sean Williams. She's known as Universal Lighthouse on here. She actually has a Reiki event coming up. So tap in with her. She's Universal Lighthouse. Okay, I recommend Sean Williams for Reiki. If I'm not taking any new clients right now. So if you want medium work done, join the wellness community, patreon.com/the Queen Poe. There you go, Warren. patreon.com/the Queen Poe is the wellness community. Get in the group chat. Get in the group chat. That's where we be. Y'all, in the Wellness Community group chat last night, I had a laugh. We had a time last night. I had a laugh. Because a sister in the wellness community, right? You joined. Ashe, hey. Okay, a sister in the wellness community. She was asking a question. So in the group chat, that's where I answer a lot of questions. And I'm in there almost basically every day. We have the whole Consultation Collective is in there. So everybody's answering questions, sharing resources, all kind of stuff, right? So in the group chat, the sister was like, she said, my friend had a consultation collect. She said, my friend had a nocturnal emission. And, you know, when he woke up, he didn't remember what he dreamed about. He didn't know what caused it. So he had questions about that. Y'all, I had to read the message hella times. I said, he had a nocturnal emission. There's so many resources in the wellness community. Thank you, Becky. Ashe. Becky with the good hair. It is. But I had to read the message like 4-5 times, y'all. You know, I was like, nocturnal emission. He had a nocturnal emission. He had a nocturnal emission and he woke up and forgot his dream. Nocturnal emission. I was like, carbon emission, fuel emission. Okay, so he released something at night. He released something, a nocturnal emission. Girl, he bust. He bust a nut in his sleep. I know she ain't trying to say he bust a nut in his. I know you ain't trying to say he bust. Y'all, I was in a group chat. I said, girl, what type of professional language is we regular niggas. We is regular niggas in this group chat. Okay, you is not in the corporate world, babes. You is not in corporate, babes. You could have said my homeboy bust last night. My homeboy was sleeping. He busted his sleep last night. Do you know what could have caused this? He couldn't remember the dream. He was wondering, my homeboy bust on himself last night while he was asleep. That's what you could have said. A nocturnal emission. You got me over here trying to use context clues and make inferences and shit. I was like, girl. But y'all, join the wellness community and get into the group chat. Because again, going back to the Consultation Collective, I'm not taking new clients right now, but Sazon, he is a medium. And Sazon is taking new clients. He is the medium. His schedule is open. So you get into the wellness community, you get into the group chat, and you'll be able to DM Sazon, okay, and set up a consultation with him. He's a good medium. If you just type his name into, I only recommend people who come with high recommendations, huh? I told y'all when it comes to finding godparents, y'all need to look at their godchildren. When it comes to going to mediums and people like that, y'all need to talk to people who have been to them, okay? Sazon comes highly recommended. If you type his name into the search bar of the wellness community group chat, you'll see that he always recommended good resources, but also he has good reviews. So if you want to book with a medium, get into the group chat and tap in with Sazon. The wellness community is patreon.com/the Queen Poe. Okay, get into the group chat and tap in. If once you get into the group chat, Sazon was up in there today. So you're going to see Sazon in the group chat. Okay, once you get into the group chat, you'll see Sazon. I don't know Sazon's TikTok. I don't even know if he's on TikTok. But yes, get in the wellness community, get into the group chat, and tap in with Sazon. Like I said, for Reiki, tap in with Universal Lighthouse. She's here on TikTok, Universal Lighthouse. And then also for tarot, if you're into tarot cards and that's what you want, tap in with Sugar Bones. Y'all probably know her. She got a large following here on TikTok. She does hoodoo folk tales here on TikTok. Yes, you can. Yes. Oh, can you find the sites through my page? I believe you can find the sites through my page here on TikTok, but I'm telling you now, patreon.com/the Queen Poe. But yes, if you want Tara, tap in with Sugar Bones, SHUGA Bones. Sugar Bones, SHUGA Bones. Okay, and she does tarot cards. She's known here on TikTok for doing hoodoo folk tales. But tap in with her. Okay, y'all. So this was a good live. Like I said, I just wanted to spend some time talking about, hardships on the spiritual journey, things that you may encounter on the spiritual journey, that, may be a struggle, you may receive as a struggle. And, just share some information on how you can shift that and change that. I appreciate all the loves, y'all. The love. You said, can I find your site through your page? Yes, you can. Oh, so you can't. I didn't know. So the website you can find it through my page. Thank you so much, Becky, with the good hair. I appreciate with the roses. I appreciate the roses. Thank you. Can I spell your website for the wellness community? For the wellness community, it's Patreon, 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 patreon.com/the Queen Poe, the Queen Poe, like my name at the top. Okay. And the wellness community is the name. So patreon.com/the Queen Poe is the wellness community. It's only $5 a month to join. Only $5 a month.